Good evening, this is Joshua part 3. Been working since about 1 o'clock, no, about 2 o'clock I guess. Taking apart the first model of the Relcaton Platform, and this is the first one that we actually made up, just using it for a jig. But I actually took that apart and ended up having lumber left over. Takes about 20% less material, and even had a handful of screws left over. I was able to build this here. Still haven't checked it for exact measurements. You want to make sure that these here will fit into this. So, you know, if you're too small, too tight, then there's going to be a problem. And this here, once it's covered, you can't really sand it down or plane it down. And if you were out, you probably would have to plane these edges here. But this is what I was working on since Monday, Tuesday, for the center lock, changing from the overlap where it would require 2 sheets of plywood on either side to just a single sheet. And so the flooring can actually you know, be your overlap, your whatever you put on for a finished flooring. You can actually overlap that over the seams. This is alright if it works. It'll allow you to make most any size of floor system. And the main framework is hexagonal. It looks a little weird with all these cutouts, but it should work. This is your basic outline here. It comes around here and down this way. I've got a small correction right here. I want to change this part over. It's out about 1/2 inch, so I need to take that apart and fit that back in. When you're cutting, 30 seconds of an inch makes a difference, especially when you're going geometric, because your errors multiply. But if everything is cut perfectly, then you get a beautiful piece of artwork. I had a little trouble trying to find the right measure with these. I had to do it a couple times. And what I've basically been working from these blueprints here, you can see that there's it's very similar. Let's be a little improvement over this. This here would be good for, you know, if you got something that, you know, I put a couple thousand pounds on this. This is the type that you go to. And hopefully change from the 1/2 inch plywood to 5/8 fir. And then I make a nice little pocket in here for the ends to tuck in. Just your accuracy has to be 100%. There's maybe 1% or so of air, but that's it. There's not much. The big thing is just making sure that you got 72 inches right from these points here across down over there. All the way across needs to be 72, and that works out. That balances everything out. Okay, tomorrow we're going to skin this. Need to put it back up in the jig again and take the tape and just go over it about 3 times. Make sure my measurements from corner to corner is exactly 72, and check the pockets there. Wow. To make sure they're 9 inches apart. All these here are all 9 inches from point to point, and from here it's 9 inches from point to point. And inside you have the identical system, but just smaller. And I forget the measurements on this, 30-some inches, 33 I think. From here to here, another 9.5. And so you got a triangle within a triangle. It's very, very strong. I think with the plywood on, once it's on and tacked down, it's not going anywhere. And if you bring your line down this way, from point to point, you have lots of surface contact. I may add some framework in the center there, just to give more contact with the plywood. That's the only drawback that I can see. Originally, I was going to put another one of these pockets like that in here. I may just extend it out if I got enough material, and just make a point, I think just a point instead of trying to making a pocket. That's it. We're 5 minutes into this third part, and I'm going to get home tonight and load this up. And I think we got a winner here. You'll be able to make any size of floor pattern right from 27 square feet if you were using the 4 foot per side, and this is only 3 feet per side. You'd have 48 square feet per side, per panel, hexagonal panel. So that allows you to go from, see, if you're using a 48 right up to over 4,000 feet just by clicking all these into place. And in here in the center, you're actually going to have a little plywood hub in there. The plywood will actually carry the weight. No framing around here. You don't need it. You could use this for maybe a in-floor heating system or whatever. And but I like to core out the plywood wafers here in order to put I like to put about a 2-inch pipe in there, and it'll be fastened to the back from the underside using just leg bolts in the back there. Then you just snap your leg inside that, and it's a done deal. It's just like a axle housing. You stick it in from the back, and you could probably spin these if you wanted to. As long as they fit together in these pockets over the center laps, actually go into these pockets here. If you can keep your accuracy up and keep all your seams tight, that's what you want. Okay, because all your sides should be reversible, and when the time comes, it'd be nice to have this all done, have the jig made up of metal, and that way you're just a matter of putting in your wood pieces and clamping them tight and screwing them together. And that's somewhere down the road, so there is room for improvement, but we need to set up a steel jig. Okay, Josh was signing out here from Mission. These sections will form your relocation platform, and it's possible to go 12-sided, 18-side, 24, 30, 36 foot panels on the outside, and the way that it works out, that your wall panels are just a little over 4.6 inches wide. So you can your floor panels are interchangeable, and so are your wall panels. The only thing that's not exchangeable like that or expandable is your roofing system. Okay, I'm going to sign out here and get this uploaded tonight.